Why, hello everybody. I'm Sam and I'm back again today with another video. It's been a while, and the reason for that is because I've been thinking of content that I'm thinking of sharing with you guys. So, if you are here watching the video for the first time, this is really a quick video for you guys to have just a bite-sized part of devotion for you, or some sort of a point of reflection for you in the day. Yeah, so first up, I want to actually talk about my new subscribers, and I want to thank you guys for subscribing and believing in me and this video project. Thank you, Natalie Gui. Special shout out to you and Mender GA. I think that's Amanda Joy, David Tan, Seth Ho, and Madilia Tia. The rest of you, you guys didn't really unprivatize your YouTube account, so I couldn't tell who were the other 4 subscribers to my YouTube account. But thank you so much for following me. It's really a blessing to know that you guys support the work that I'm doing. And just to review what we talked about in the previous video, we were talking about praying unceasingly, right? So we talked about how to pray in a daily life and not just in service or in our cell groups. All right. So if you haven't done so, keep up your prayer life and do it. All right. I myself am being challenged day by day to keep my people in prayer, to keep my family in prayer, to keep the people I love in prayer. Alright, but today we're going to talk about building houses. And you ask me, oh Sam, what is all of this about? Alright, today we are going to focus on 1 Thessalonians 5, verse 11. Alright, and it says, therefore, comfort each other and edify one another just as you also are doing. Right, and the thing about building community is that, yeah, there are times that our friends are doing poorly and we need to comfort them, and even if they are not going through a tough time, we need to learn to edify one another. But today, I'm going to talk specifically about edification, or in other words, encouragement. Alright, so today I'm going to focus, as you can see, on the word edify, and we're going to do a very, very quick short Bible study here. And let's look up the Greek word for it. It is oikodomio. Okay, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. If I'm not, please don't slaughter me. Alright, and if it sounds familiar to you, yes, oikos means family, right? Or it means home. And so in the Greek, oikodomio is actually an extension of the word family or home, which is very interesting. Why would encouragement come from the same word as family or home, right? And as you can see here, it says to build a house or erect a house. That's exactly what this picture is all about, right? We are figuratively edifying, building each other up, building up the house of the Lord. That's what we're doing, and that's why encouragement is so important. And something that I've noticed in our church culture these days is that we tend to be very critical of each other, and I'm guilty of this as much as everyone, all right? But it takes a challenge to actually notice something that someone else is doing, call out the gem in that someone, look at God's perspective, and know what God is doing over there. Right, and so building community is not the easiest thing, but the biggest thing that we need to remember is that we are not here to just be built up. If you read what Paul is exhorting, or what Paul is encouraging us to do in 1 Thessalonians, he's saying, therefore comfort each other, meaning we take on the ownership of being the one to encourage, right? Even if no one is encouraging us, start to build that community, start to encourage each other, all right? And an analogy that someone once told me is, bring a jar, don't be a straw. Because straws suck up the liquid from the jar, but jars provide, right? So be the provider of encouragement and don't just expect to receive encouragement, all right? So some of you might be like, oh, I've never been nice before in my life. How do I encourage someone? Here is how you can do it, all right? Simply start off by praying for a person, right? Whoever God has placed in your heart. If the first person after you pray, God, give me a person, and the first person you have thought of is perhaps your brother, right? Or a cell member, or even a school friend. Well, ask for a verse or a picture or something, right, to about their identity or their character that you can see. So for example, if you get the word, oh, God is saying that you are strong and mighty, all right, in the ways, and you can just encourage them. You are like a warrior, right? Or if you have a verse for them, just send them the verse and say, I really felt like this verse might speak to you. Or if you have a picture, you see a waterfall, you see a dove, just declare it, all right? Don't be afraid if it's cliched or anything. You'll be surprised how thoughtful it can be for someone who is going through a tough time, right? Click send on your WhatsApp or your Telegram or your MSN or Facebook message, whatever you're using, and brighten up their day. And then they will look like that. It'll be a happy day for all of them, and we are learning to build a community together. So, if you've forgotten everything that I've said today, we are talking about building a community. We're talking about how, in building community, we need to take the initiative to comfort each other and to edify one another. And specifically, on the word edification, it means building up. And in that context, it's actually building your house, which is down there. And building up that house of the Lord requires us to encourage, requires us to call out what God sees in the other person. All right, if well, that's all I really have for today. Wanted to keep it as short as I could. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. You don't really have to. That doesn't really exactly boost me or my ego gets boosted or anything like that. But it tells me that you enjoyed the video. But if you have a comment on how I can do things better or whatever, and if you guys have suggestions on what you want me to talk about, do add that in the comments down below. All right. So thank you so much. This is Sam.